Hey everybody, and welcome back to the stancebros channel. Today we have the Z4M coupe in for a wash, polish, and ceramic coating. Let's jump right into the detail. Okay, stancebros, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is pre-wash the car just to break down any harsh dirts. So we're going to go around the car, spray it with our pre-wash. You can get the windows, you get the roof, you get everything. And this is just an extra precaution we do to put on the car just to minimize as many scratches as possible. So after we've let the pre-wash sit on the car for a good 2 to 5 minutes, let it break down all the dirt, roll it all the way down to the bottom, we're just gonna rinse it off. Make sure you rinse off the wheels because those are what we're gonna be hitting next. So the reason that we started with the pre-soak before doing the wheels, because typically you are supposed to start with the wheels, is because our pre-wash is a mixture of our strip wash with APC and hot water. This is a very nice car, so you only probably waxed it or put some kind of sealant on there, and our pre-wash is, like I said, our strip wash, so it's gonna help strip that old wax or sealant off. Besides this case, you do want to start with the wheels first. Okay, let's get started on the wheels. And as you can see, they're pretty dirty. So it's a good thing that we wash these first. Perfect, so we're gonna go around, clean the other 3, and I'll meet you back over for the contact wash. So next thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and do the contact wash. We're gonna be using McLaren soap. We'll leave a link down in the description of where you guys can buy the soap from. It's probably the foamiest soap that you'll ever find, and in my opinion, one of the best. So we don't only wash a portion of the car at a time, we do it for maximum efficiency. We want to make sure that we don't miss any areas. We're also using the 2-bucket wash method. That means that we're rinsing the wash mitt, all the dirt and grime that gets on the wash mitt from washing off the car, in 1 bucket, and then we're going over to the next bucket to get clean water to put onto the car, just to minimize any swirling or scratching to occur in the vehicle. You also want to make sure that with each panel you go to, you're flipping the wash mitt to another side. So that's 2 panels you want to go over, rinse in 1 bucket, get fresh water, and go straight back to the car. Flip the mitt. Now I'm not too worried about getting all the soap just yet because we do have another wash phase after this and we'll rinse all the soap off right after that. Okay, so off camera, I'm just gonna go ahead and wash this side of the car and then we're gonna decontaminate it. Okay, so before we get started with the next step, I wanna make sure that all of you guys are wearing the proper PPE, and that means your gloves. So the next step, we're gonna be decontaminating the car, and this stuff is really harsh stuff. It can actually make your hands go numb. It's a G2M effective iron remover from Geon, and it is really, really strong. Like I said, it can make your hands go numb, so please wear gloves. The next step is claying and iron remover. So you're gonna spray the panel. And you're gonna wanna let this stuff sit. Typically, it will turn purple. On darker vehicles, it tends not to really color change too much. You don't really notice the color change, but it will turn purple. Don't get alarmed, that just means that it's working. It is supposed to be used as lube for your clay. So the next thing you're gonna do is just go over the car with your clay bar or your clay mitt as we're using. This vehicle is not too contaminated, so we're just using a clay mitt. Any rough spots, you kind of just wanna go back and forth with the mitt until it becomes smooth. This is gonna safely remove anything embedded into your paint. It will also remove any kind of sealant or waxes. I don't know if you guys seen, but when I was washing the vehicle, it was still sheeting some water in some places. This will make sure that that sealant or wax is pretty much dead before we move over into the polish, which will then kill it. So once the hood feels nice and slick and smooth, and you can basically slide the mitt everywhere back and forth, pretty much decontaminate it, and we can move on to the next panel. But before doing that, you want to rinse the mitt off. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse it off. do the rest of the car, and I'll meet you guys over for the drying stage. So after you've thoroughly washed off all that iron remover, after you've clayed and decontaminated your car, you're gonna wanna dry it. So we like to use, when the vehicles aren't ceramic coated, we like to use towels to dry them, just because if you try and blow dry a car that's not ceramic coated, it's gonna leave water spots. Ceramic coated cars, by all means, blow dry them. But for now, we're gonna use towels, and the towels that we use have lots and lots of gizms, which basically means that they're never gonna scratch the car. I wouldn't say never, but there's a very small chance of it. We like to dry top from bottom, top to bottom. And always wipe in a side-to-side motion, never go in circles. That's how you create your swirl marks. Now again, I know some of you are gonna argue that we are polishing the vehicle to remove swirls and scratches anyways, so does it really matter if we leave scratches now? And the answer is yes, it always matters. We never want to cause any kind of damage to our clients' vehicles whatsoever. And no, we're not using any kind of a drying aid. I know drying aids are to help prevent any swirling, but if you apply a drying aid right now and then go to polish and apply a ceramic coating, that ceramic coating may not bond to the paint. It'll actually get rejected by the drying aid. I can't wait to polish this vehicle. I love polishing blue vehicles. They always come out the best. Blue and candy apple red. Ooh, and purple cars. This, I guess, is a very rare color on this car. I can't pronounce it. It's Interlago Blue, I believe it's called. But only a specific number of cars are actually made in this color. Just double check. Now a little bit of drips from the mirrors and stuff, that's okay, because we are gonna go ahead and polish, and that's just gonna take care of any streaking. But for the most part, this vehicle is very dry. So the next step is to move it over to the polishing stage and begin polishing. So I'll catch you guys over there. Okay everybody, so now that the decontamination process is done, we moved it over to start the polishing process. And we already did actually half the car off camera just to make sure that we got the right pad and polish combination down. As you can see in the light here, the paint has quite a bit of swirls and defects, but on this side here where we've already treated the paint, there's next to nothing. There's a good 95% difference there. And that is what we go for, if not 100. So like I just mentioned before, we got the right pad and compound mixture, I guess you could call it. We did a few test spots to start off just to see which kind of combination worked best when we polished the other side of the car. And we find that a microfiber pad from Lake Country backed with our Rupes cutting compound worked the absolute best. So a couple tips when you're polishing a car is you just want to put a couple small dabs on your pad. This pad's already been primed, but typically what priming a pad means is you're gonna then rub the dabs into your pad. Then you come over, you spread out the compound all over the car. That just limits the amount of fling that you're gonna get. You're gonna turn it down to probably about 2. You're gonna spread this all out, okay? And then you're gonna turn it up to 6 to cut. This is just gonna remove any of the deeper imperfections in the paint. You're gonna wanna move side to side and up and down, probably about 1 inch per second. Pressure is just your hand on there. You're not pushing, you're not moving the side back to forth or anything like that. You keep the pad flat, just the pressure from your hand, just the weight of your hand, and you're good to go. Now, always wear your gloves. I'm wearing hearing protection because these things can get quite loud. Just wear your proper PPE. you're done, you're going to grab the microfiber that I had to throw out of the way and wipe off all the compound as best as you can. And then you can inspect the paint. So all the deeper imperfections in the paint are gone. So we can move on to the second step cut now. So to do that, I'm going to change the pad over from the microfiber pad to an orange Lake Country foam pad. And then we're using Rupes fine polish. And this is going to give it that mirror-like shine that you typically get before a ceramic coating. So same thing again, a couple little dabs. Spread it out. Now this time, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to spread it out on 2. We're going to turn it up to 6 for a little bit, and then finish at 4. And again, you're going to take your microfiber, wipe off as much of the polish as you can. Then with a separate rag, you're going to take something like Prep. We're using Geon Prep or isopropyl alcohol. And you're going to spray it onto the paint surface. This is going to get rid of any oils left behind from the polish of the compound or anything else that was on the paint, like dust, before the ceramic coating actually goes on. You're just gonna wipe that in. You can blow on it to eliminate any of the streaking. And now we have bare paint. So as you can see in the camera, right on this side, we haven't treated the paint. You can see some of the swirling. If you come over into the treated section, there's next to no swirls. And the paint looks 10 times glossier. Okay, so now we're just gonna do the rest of the car here. We're gonna do the first step cut, then the second step cut. The other thing I wanna also recommend that you do is blow out your pad every time you leave a panel. So this whole thing right here until the door is one panel. As soon as we do it, we're gonna take the air compressor, blow our pad out. We're gonna do it a little bit more thoroughly, but I'm gonna wait until we're done the pad first, the panel first. That's just gonna get any contamination that was on this panel, not on that panel. And it's gonna make it so the microfibers don't get all gunked up with the polish. Like I mentioned before, see how it's all gunked up? Now it's time for the second step cut. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and polish out the rest of the vehicle. I'll meet you guys back over. We're gonna prep the paint properly and then ceramic coat it. Okay, so the last thing before the ceramic coating goes on is we're just gonna do a final prep wipe. I know we did it after each panel was polished, but we're just gonna do it just to ensure no oils or dust or compound or waxes or nothing's on the paint. We want ceramic to bond to the paint, so we want direct bond. So just go ahead, spray everything. You can even use this to clean up the glass as well. Again, we're using Prep from Gion. And we're just gonna wipe it in and just blow to eliminate any of those streaks. Why do we want to get all the waxes and everything off? Is because as soon as that ceramic coating goes on, any imperfections like scratches or imperfections in the paint or any of the waxes that are on, waxes, oils that are on the paint will then be sealed there for however many years you get the ceramic coating for. So say if you get a 2-year ceramic coating and we lay it on top without doing the prep wipe and we get it over top of compound that we don't see, that compound is then there for those 2 years. So you wanna make sure that you get all the oils, everything off. All the way down. It's just the extra mile that we go to ensure that you're getting the best product possible. I'm wearing gloves, so I'm not gonna leave any kind of fingerprints or anything like that too. Like I said, you can clean up the glass from any kind of little dust that went flying from that microfiber pad. We're not ceramic coating the glass, but still, we don't really want to give it back to our client with any of that dust everywhere. Just gonna swap out my microfiber for a less damp one. Go, same thing, go around, get this door, get the roof. If you guys have any questions about the entire process, leave them down in the comments. We'll answer them best as possible, or DM us at stancebros_ on Instagram. And again, I will answer any questions personally that you guys might have. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of the vehicle and then I'll catch you guys over for the ceramic coating. Okay, now for the main event, we're gonna ceramic coat the car with Labocosmetica HPC for the most amount of gloss possible. So all we wanna do is we're just gonna put a little bit on our applicator pad. The first amount, you're gonna wanna prime it, so you're gonna get as much as possible on there. And then you're gonna work in a cross-hatch motion. Cross, over, all the way down. Vehicle. Then back up. Same thing, just the other way. And then depending on the humidity in your guys' shop or outside or in your guys' garages, you're gonna wait a little bit and you're gonna see it start to flash. Essentially what that means is it's gonna start to bubble up, or it might even turn into a rainbow color or some kind of it's gonna evaporate and you're gonna notice it. And once that happens, you're gonna take one of your cloths and you're gonna go over it very lightly and buff it off. Now a pro tip is once that one's done, you're gonna grab a second one and go over and just make sure that you get any of the, if you pushed it accidentally to another panel, you're just gonna go over with another cloth and make sure you get all of it. Because you don't wanna let this stuff dry in your car. If you do, you get stuff called high spots, which is a discoloration or even a textured look to your paint. And like I said, this here is a 4-year coating. If that happens, that's gonna stay like that for the next 4 years. So this coating's gonna go on top, it's gonna bead water, it's gonna self-clean, it's gonna increase gloss, decrease the amount of maintenance that you need to do to your vehicle's paint, And of course, it is gonna protect against light scratches and swirling as well. It's also gonna increase the resale value because it's gonna look newer for longer. So I'm gonna go ahead, do the rest of the vehicle, and then I'll catch you guys over for the before and afters. Okay, so you guys can tell that I've changed, my hair is different, and the car's been moved, and that is because we waited the appropriate amount of time before giving this car the water test. Before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about the coatings that we use. So we use Labocosmetica here at Stancebros. They're the glossiest, the best self-cleaning technology I've ever seen, and the most durable coatings that I've ever seen. I mean, they're made in Italy, so if they're good enough for a Ferrari, then they're definitely good enough for this BMW, right? Let's put it to the test. So self-cleaning meaning that nothing is gonna stick to this car. So if you do have dust, you do have dirt, if you do have mud, it's just gonna blow right off the car. Look at those hydrophobics. Like, you could essentially dry this car with water as I'm doing right now. Nothing sticking to this car. So you guys want the best ceramic coating, come check us out at Stancebros. Subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and check out our online store for cool shirts and posters to decorate your guys' shops and garages with. DM us a picture of your guys' setups, we'd love to see them. Till then, drive safe and see you on the next detail.
Here at Stancebros, we're recognized as one of Calgary's premier detailing spas. Our meticulous attention to detail ensures every vehicle entrusted to us leaves looking its best. Join us on this channel as we showcase our passion for cars, detailing expertise, and exciting car content. At Stancebros, we're cultivating a community united by our passion for all things automotive.
Nice stance, bro.